Hello and welcome back to TEW 2016, the branding solution, and we are here with Smackdown after the Royal Rumble, where we had Bayley retain her title over Mickie James, and Bayley returned to win the Smackdown Women's Royal Rumble to become the #1 contender for the title going into WrestleMania. So, which I feel is huge for where we're going with this. So we're going to have a show building up to WrestleMania. We've got about 8 weeks of Smackdowns. They do not have a pay-per-view, so it's going to be a lot of build, and we're going to have a few title matches in the few weeks coming up, I think. So we're going to start with the pre-show with my newest tag team. I have the Jet Set beat Tapper and Jacob. I've called them up to be basically a jobbing tag team, but I need to give them a few wins just to see. They have good chemistry, so I think why not stick them together, see what we get. Then we have Alexa Bliss defeat Tess Blanchard. Tess still coming up from NXT. There is huge chance that I'm going to turn her into my next TaylorMade. The age thing works perfectly because we can get a good 10 to 15 years out of her because she's still young. So yeah, I'm just working with some of the smaller or the big names on the pre-show, see if there's any special clicks here, working on hopefully improving some abilities. We then give G next a victory. Yeah, simple enough. I want to see if I can find another tag team out of NXT, really. Even if they're just going to be jobbers. We have Becky Lynch defeat Nikki Glenn Cross. Oh, otherwise known as Nikki Cross. Yeah, not built up yet. Coming from NXT. Let's just see. The Heartbreak Express defeat Andrea and Jennifer Blake. Just to see. A bit of the same. Trying to see if there's a tag team here. Not by the looks of it. We have Paige defeat Nikki Savoy. Or Nicole Savoy. Yeah, simple enough. Getting them some improvements against big names. SAS defeat Grace and Skater. Not a great match. Not too important to me, really. Again, just looking for more NXT potential. And I believe this is my main event. And I am impressed by how much Blue Dart has come along. And if we want to use a Mexican female wrestler, she could well be my first choice. I think when we signed her, she had a popularity of 0 or 5. I think we've got her up to 20 just on pre-show matches, so that's good. We head into the main show now, and we have Bayley getting a standing ovation from the crowd, thanking everybody for giving her the ability, the faith that she could come back to win the Royal Rumble and finally get that match she has been waiting for against Sasha Banks. Sasha comes out and says that she'd beaten everybody. You couldn't even make it to our match, but you had found your way into a Royal Rumble. You're just scared of me, Bayley. You don't deserve my title, which brings out Charlotte. Charlotte says, Sasha's right, Bayley. You're not on our level. We are the best women in this industry. And sure, Sasha holds that belt. It won't be long before I hold the Intercontinental Women's title. And the two go to look to attack Bayley when Asuka makes the save, and the two clear the ring, opening up the show with what I'm trying to make my 4 big names at the moment. WrestleMania is going to be Bayley, Sasha, and it's going to be Charlotte, Asuka. We jump into the show with Nia Jax squashing Joyce O'Brien. For the second week in a row, Joyce O'Brien has broken the locker room rules and been brought to JBL's court. Now, I have to keep punishing her by putting her in squash matches, and she seems to be getting more popular by this, so I don't really know what to do with her. There is part of me that is looking just to dump her back into NXT, but then if she keeps annoying me, she's just going to keep getting squashed, which also works. It hasn't quite upset the locker room because her punishment is getting them drunk. So yeah, she's only ever really been a jobber, so she's just going to have to pay as a jobber at the moment. After the match, Nia Jax calls out Ember Moon, but Ember Moon's lights flicker, the lights go out, the red shines, but she doesn't appear, continuing how Ember Moon is playing games with Nia Jax. We then continue what I think is going to be quite a weak all-round show. I gave the New Nightmares a victory. They are my newest tag team. I am trying to push them. And it's over Sexy Star and Vivian, two main roster people who I barely use, really. I don't know why. I keep them around, but the chances are they're either going down to NXT or getting released. So yeah, not going to be. There's a few matches built up like this. There's a few little odd storylines being built up. So we're just going to show what we can make with this. And we then have them cut a promo, pumping themselves up. I did make sure Christina got the win because she's a lot younger, so they're going to be the breakout of this team. So I was going to be like a leader type of idea. We then continue our little push for Aaliyah with a video package. I have a lot of faith that she could become something special. A lot is going to lead to the idea that I probably will introduce a lower card title for Smackdown, but I probably want to wait till after Mania, or we'll make a big battle royal for it at Mania. It's going to be one of those things. We have the shock of the night with Technically Flawless, Lovelace and Hendricks defeating the tag team champions. One after Dangerously Beautiful got involved, costing them the match. Now, they both weren't happy about losing this match. I'm not going to lie. But it's building up a bigger picture. They need a push to get them to the next level. They've won every tag team match they've been in since I made them a team. And it continues the tag team rivalry, where we have the four of them beat them down. I'm not sure what. Yeah, it's got the tag team and the Moon Rising one. Yeah, so yeah. Works. They get beat down. Up next, we then have Ember Moon defeat Summer Rae. So I'm pushing her up to slightly better competition. These are the people who are in and around the Intercontinental title she's beating. So yeah, we're keeping her unbeaten at the moment. Nia Jax makes her way down to the ring and confronts Ember Moon, but security swarms before anything can come to blows between the two. So I want to just keep this one simmering along. I am going to put a match in a couple of weeks down the line, but we have a few matches set up for next week already. Edge goes up and sees the Forgotten Generation, sees how they are, tells them that don't worry about the defeat, but that beat down, it's not acceptable. You find yourself another tag team, and you're going to have a 4-on-4 match next week on Smackdown. We then give Mickie James another big victory after a great performance last night. In the title match, I feel it's only fair that she gets another big win over a former number one contender in Emma. And afterwards, Alexa Bliss comes out to join the attack, which then brings out Becky to make the save. So we're keeping this fizzling along nicely. Another bit of a punt I went for this one. I put Leathergates and Evie together, hoping they could click. Maybe at the Psycho Ward, had to give Levi Bates the pin. But it's given Evie some matches to prove herself. Never going to be a great match, was it? Let's be honest. You then go for another video package of the Jet Set. Just try to pump the team up a little bit. We all know no one cares about video packages anyway nowadays. So we then had Carmella defeat Taryn Terrell. I'm pretty sure I booked that the other way around. But never mind, it's bringing along that storyline like it needed to go. Backstage we see Fox's clients, and then we find the Forgotten Generation approach them. Says, you've been having problems, let's settle this next week. If you help us beat them, we will give you a shot at our tag team titles. So we have now booked a 4-on-4 match for next week. It's going to be a Fox and Ember Moon and the Forgotten Generations. Naomi is injured versus Dangerously Beautiful. In our next match, we have Nikki Bella picking up a win over Natalya. Again, not the greatest of matches. Just want to give Nikki a big win. And Becky calls out Nikki and challenges her to a match. This was designed to be a tag team match, which is going to be Nikki and Emma facing Becky and Mickey versus Nikki and Emma. Because Alexa is sort of Nikki's protege type character I've created, they're going to be like a big, like, you know what it was like when we had the tag teams where we have one more experienced. That's the big one with those two. They're not probably ever going to go for tag team gold, but the idea is they're going to be together helping each other along the way. And in my main event, which is really good, an 81, which probably has just about saved the show, Sasha Banks defeats Bayley after blatantly cheating. So the thing is, I can't really have Sasha and Charlotte lose to either of them. I can't let Asuka really lose again without it being cheating. So Bayley had to take the pinfall for this match and had to be cheating. So an 81 is a great end to the show. And Charlotte and Sasha work together and they put both of them through tables, Bayley and Asuka, to send a message saying they've got the gold, they want the gold, we're going to have the gold. So yeah, an 80 to finish the show. I think we'll be lucky to be above a 75 overall, but we got a 78. Not terrible. We have a lot of stinky segments in the middle, but we're building into the right direction. So head back to the main screen to see how that has affected everything. And we're back to the main screen, so let's check the news. James Storm is now your TNA champion after Bobby Lashley walked out on them, which was quite surprising. Let's check the news. Michael Hayes is staying as his road agent gig. Nothing over fancy, and just ratings, so yeah, we're not too worried with those sort of things. Going into let's just make Peyton Voice happy. We need my tag team champion happy. It was a one-off defeat. You're going to get the biggest win of your career probably soon. So moving forward, these storylines are all as good as I had hoped, bar the tag team one. The Intercontinental one is really impressing. Who is hot or not? Always good to see. Scarlett Bordeaux on the top of that list. Seth and Rollins in the top momentum. Faith, Rosa Mendes, Vivian. So they're all pretty bland, those women ones. So we'll end it here and we're going to come back with Shockwave next. So thank you all for watching and let's see what happens next.